Hey everybody, it's Eric, 80s Horror Man here, and welcome to my end of month haul for the month of December. I know I'm a little bit early, but I know that tomorrow's the last day of December, but I just figured I'd get this up and running because I know that tomorrow and the last day, I'm not going to be able to get anything on that last day. So here we are, almost at the end of the year of 2025, and then we'll be jumping into the year of 2026. So we'll see how that one turns out. So in this haul, you're going to see mostly Blu-rays and one DVD. So without further ado, let's get started. So the one DVD I picked up, I ended up getting this off of Amazon thanks to the Amazon gift card that my good friend PJ Souls ended up getting for me for Christmas. So I've seen this movie before a couple of times, and I thought the movie was funny. So it does not have a Blu-ray release, but hopefully somewhere down the road it will. And the movie I'm talking about is The Distinguished Gentleman with Eddie Murphy, but where he plays a con man who has like the same name as like a U.S. president, and he decides to go and play the game. So, The Distinguished Gentleman, classic, very funny movie there. Next is an upgrade from the DVD to the Blu-ray, and I remember watching this movie, and I know that this movie was very recognizable and very popular back in the mid-90s when it came out. So I figured why not get the Blu-ray, because this movie was actually a very good movie. And the movie I'm talking about is A Time to Kill, with Sandra Bullock, Matthew McConaughey, Samuel L. Jackson, Donald Sutherland, Kiefer Sutherland. So you got like a pretty good all-star cast in this one, about where after a 10-year-old black girl ends up getting raped by a couple of redneck hillbillies. They get off on a technicality, and the father of that child decides to kill those redneck hillbillies, and now he's facing trial in court. So now it's up to a lawyer and his assistant to say that this the black father decides to kill these redneck hillbillies. He's in self-defense. So, A Time to Kill, very good movie. Next is another movie I also have on DVD, but it's attached with another movie as a double feature. And I remember seeing this movie. We used to have it on tape, so I figured I might as well get this one because this movie is good, and it's funny as well. And the movie I'm talking about is The Cowboy Way, with Woody Harrelson and Kiefer Sutherland in this one. About where they play two cowboys who go to New York City to save a girl from a slave trade. So, The Cowboy Way, funny movie. Next, I've seen this movie before a couple times, but this movie on Blu-ray that I have has the theatrical and the extended version of this movie. So I decided to watch the extended version because I've seen the theatrical version a couple times. And this movie is a classic, and now I finally have it in my collection. And the movie is The Blues Brothers, with Dan Aykroyd and the late great John Belushi. So, for people who have seen this movie, they definitely know what the storyline is. But people who don't know, about where after Jake gets released from prison, him and his brother Elwood decide to try to save their orphanage that they grew up in, and they say that they're on a mission from God, and decide to put the band back together. So, Blues Brothers, classic movie, very funny. Next, another movie I decided to get, And this movie is actually a limited edition, and if this movie just recently came out back in October, I want to say, of this year. And if you want this movie, you might as well get it now, or else the movie is just going to be very high for a price, and it's just going to be OOP, out of print. So I've only seen this movie once, but it's been a long time since I've seen it. And the movie I'm talking about is Hider in the House, with Gary Busey in this one, about where he plays a man who was abused by his parents as a child. Then he's upsetting the house on fire that kills his parents. And then he's released from the mental hospital, moves into an empty house, but then all of a sudden that empty house becomes full when a family decides to move into that house. And now he's like hiding in the family's attic, and he just wants to be a part of their family. Yeah, so that's the Blu-ray cover art, but this is the original poster art for Hider in the House. I had to put it on that one because I remember seeing that the poster art for it like on the internet, but I never seen the poster art in video stores. So Hider in the House, definitely a pretty good movie. Definitely recommend checking it out for those who hasn't seen it. Next is another Blu-ray I decided to get, and this movie has Burt Reynolds. And I remember my parents watching this movie a long time ago when I was a kid, but I never seen the movie. I just only saw like a certain glimpse of the movie, but I haven't watched it yet because I just got this movie in the mail yesterday that came along with all the other stuff that I ordered with that $50 gift card from my friend PJ Souls I got for Christmas. So the movie I'm talking about is Hooper, with Burt Reynolds, where I guess he plays like a stunt man. I don't know much information about it. I haven't managed to see the trailer for it, but I just remember seeing my parents watching this movie, and I caught like a little glimpse of the movie like when I was a kid. So Hooper, I haven't got a chance to watch it yet, but for those who has seen it, let me know how it is, because it seems like that people are not familiar with this movie at all. Next, another upgrade from the DVD to the Blu-ray, and I'm glad I finally got this one, because when I first saw this movie, I thought this movie was actually good when it first came out. And the movie I'm talking about is Signs, with Mel Gibson, and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, because I think this was the first movie that M. Night Shyamalan ended up releasing. About where Mel Gibson plays like he used to be a priest, and now his brother and his two kids discover a 500-foot crop circle in the middle of their cornfield. And I guess it just shows that there's other places around the road that has that same similarity to what they're going through right now, saying that there's like a warning saying, I guess, extraterrestrials are coming to Earth. So Signs, pretty good movie. Next, I end up buying this one on Amazon Prime, but I didn't think that this one would actually get a DVD or Blu-ray release, but I was surprised to see that it did. And I don't have the first one, but I do have this one on Blu-ray. And the movie I'm talking about is Ice Road Vengeance. So in other words, Ice Road 2, with Liam Neeson in it, where he's traveling to Nepal to spread his late brother's ashes on where he wanted his brother's ashes to be scattered. But then he comes across a group of mercenaries that end up taking a a tour bus that he's on hostage, and now he has to find a way to fight off these mercenaries and save the people that's on that tour bus. So I thought this movie was actually good. I ended up liking it for what it was. I thought Liam Neeson did a pretty good job like he always does. So Ice Road Vengeance, definitely check it out for those who hasn't seen it, because you can watch this on Amazon Prime or Netflix. Same thing for the first Ice Road, you could watch it off of Netflix as well. Next, another movie I decided to get this after I watched this movie off of Amazon Prime for free. I never seen the movie before, never heard of it, but I figured I'd check it out. And I thought this movie was actually not bad for what it was. I thought it was actually good and interesting. And the movie I'm talking about is Mikey. Now, Mikey is where you got this kid by the name of Mikey who keeps jumping from school to school, foster to foster, just because of certain accidents that happen. And it turns out that this kid Mikey is not who he appears to be, because it turns out he's just like an evil little child, and everyone thinks he's so innocent and he's got nothing to do with it. Well, it turns out that he's the one that's like responsible for all these certain accidents, and that's why he keeps jumping from foster to foster families and school to school. So Mikey, again, you can watch this for free on Amazon Prime. And again, I thought this was actually interesting. I thought it was actually good. So Mikey, check it out. Next, I used to have this movie on tape when it first came out. Then I got the DVD, and I didn't think this movie would actually get a Blu-ray release, but I was surprised that it actually did. And this movie is actually good, but it's been a while since I watched it. And the movie I'm talking about is The Hunted, with Tommy Lee Jones and Benicio del Toro. About where Tommy Lee Jones' character plays like a former instructor, and now he has to help the cops find his former student that he taught on how to kill. And it turns out his former student is going around killing deer hunters by using his knife. So now Tommy Lee Jones' character has to help the cops to find his former student to put an end to his rampage. So basically, it's like the teacher against the student in this movie. So The Hunted, pretty good movie. Definitely recommend checking it out for those who hasn't seen it. Another one I decided to get. I never owned this in my collection. I know my mom has the DVD of this movie, and I've seen it before many times, and I just recently watched this off of Tubi, because it's been a while since I watched it. And it is from a Stephen King movie. And the movie I'm talking about is Sleepwalkers. Now, Sleepwalkers is where you got this mom and her son. They're like these cat creatures, or whatever the hell they are, decide to move from town to town, and they are just like looking to suck the life out of young virgins, mostly women virgins that they're looking for. And it turns out that Tanya is like the latest victim that they have their sights set on, and now they want to suck the life out of her. But it turns out that the mom and the son might be these cat creatures, but it turns out that they do not like cats. So, they just fear these cats for some reason. So you can watch this movie again for free on Tubi. So Sleepwalkers from Stephen King, definitely check it out. Another one is an upgrade from the DVD to the Blu-ray, and I'm so glad I finally got this on Blu-ray now, because I've been wanting to get it ever since it first came out. And the movie I'm talking about is Valentine. Now, with Valentine, you got this killer who wears like a Cupid mask, and he's going around picking off random girls who are now grown up, because back in high school, there's this kid, ends up asking certain girls if they want to dance with him, and they all rejected him. But it turns out that the kid's nose ends up bleeding real easily, without getting punched or anything. It just starts to bleed for no reason. So jump 13 years later, the girls from the high school Valentine's Day dance were all grown up and now are being stalked by a killer wearing a Cupid mask. And it turns out that the killer's nose also bleeds as well. So is it coincidence? You never know. So Valentine, not bad of a slasher horror movie from the early 2000s. Check it out for those who hasn't seen it. Next, I decided to watch this movie off of Tubi. It was my first time watching it, and I know this movie is going to be 50 years old when the new year comes. And this movie was directed by the late great Tobe Hooper, and I never seen this movie before until I watched it off of Tubi just recently. And the movie I'm talking about is Eaten Alive. Now, Eaten Alive is where it takes place in a little small town of Louisiana, and you got this guy who's not at all there, runs a rundown motel, and every time he gets guests checking in to the motel, he ends up feeding his guests to his pet crocodile that he has lurking around in the swamps where his motel is. Also in this one, you have a very young Robert Englund in this one, before he was known for playing Freddy in the Nightmare on Elm Streets. So I thought this movie was actually not bad for what it was. I thought it was good. So again, Eaten Alive, you can watch this off of Tubi. So definitely recommend checking it out for those who hasn't seen it. Another one I did not own in my collection, because I remember renting this movie when I was a kid on VHS, and I thought the movie was actually not bad for what it was. But I'm glad I finally have the Blu-ray now. And the movie I'm talking about is Return of the Living Dead 3, where you got these young teens on a motorcycle. They plan on moving to a different town to get away, but then they get into a motorcycle accident. The guy lives, but kills his girlfriend. So he decides to bring his girlfriend to a military base that his father works at, and decides to use a certain chemical to bring her back to life. But it turns out that she doesn't come back as the same person. She just starts acting different and feels different, and she just has a appetite for human brains. And she always ends up hurting herself, like putting like sharp objects through her skin just to stop the pain, because she's always got the pain for hunger. So Return of the Living Dead 3, not bad for what it was. I definitely enjoyed it. Next, another movie I decided to pick up, and this movie just recently came in theaters, like in the summertime of this year. I didn't watch it in theaters, and then this movie just recently came out on DVD and Blu-ray. So I saw that the price dropped for this movie, so I figured might as well get it and check it out. Because I heard people say it's actually a good movie, and when I watched it, and it was actually a good movie. I definitely ended up liking it. And the movie I'm talking about is Sinners. Now, Sinners has Michael B. Jordan, who's known for played Adonis Creed from the Creed films, where he plays the brothers Smoke and Stack. And this movie takes place in some of the 1830s. And now they have to survive against these vampires. But the movie starts off as a little bit slow, but then it gets like interesting in it, like about a little over an hour into the movie, it gets interesting. That's when things start to pick up. So, Sinners, I thought it was good for what it was. I thought it was actually not bad. Next, another one I picked up. I ended up watching this movie in theaters just last month, and the movie just came out on DVD and Blu-ray just last week. So I figured I might as well get it because I thought the movie was actually interesting for what it was. It was good. And the movie I'm talking about is Black Phone 2. We got Ethan Hawke's character playing the grabber. Only this time, Finn and his sister decided to go to this Christian camp where their mom used to work at to find out what happened to their mom. But it turns out that the grabber's spirit is not at rest. So the spirit of the grabber is now terrorizing Finn's sister and all the other victims at this Christian camp. So now they have to find a way to kill the grabber's spirit and put him to rest. So Black Phone 2, pretty good movie, not bad for what it was. And last, for the Blu-ray, my girlfriend ended up picking this one up for me, and we ended up watching this one in theaters. And the movie I'm talking about is The Strangers, Chapter 2. So this one picks up from where the first Strangers left off in Chapter 1, where the girl who survived the attack on the Strangers is now being chased by the same masked assailant that tried to kill her at the house, is now trying to kill her because she ended up surviving their attack. And she's all alone trying to find help, and no one's around to help her, so she has to find a way to fight off these masked assailants known as the Strangers. So, Strangers Chapter 2, not bad for what it was. I thought it was actually good. And I know that the director, Rennie Harlan, who directed the first two of these movies, is working on a third one. And it's supposed to be the final one, so we have to see if it is. But Strangers Chapter 2, not bad for what it was. And if you haven't seen the rest of the other Stranger movies, definitely check those out as well, because they were actually good ones. Alright guys, so that's it for my haul for the month of December. What do you guys think? Have you seen any of these movies before? If so, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Also, like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for some more videos. And whatever you're doing on New Year's Eve, like going to parties and stuff, have fun. And I'll see you in the year of 2026. Later.